you previously mentioned that you were dating the guy for about 2 years. Is that correct? Okay. But it wasn't ever a relationship, is that?
It was a relationship. Then I
monogamous? It was a monogamous relationship? Okay. For 2 years, you said. But you said it was on and off again.
I think towards like the end of the 2 years, it was very like, obviously we fought more. Sure. We didn't really share that much like interest. I don't know. He has like anger issues. So that kind of like, and he has, he's insecure. So I think that kind of, insecurity opens a lot of doors. And obviously like, I was like, we're fighting too much. I think like we should just be friends. It's just getting, too much.
Sure. Wait, so you've been single for 2 months, but my question was, when's the last time that you saw your, I suppose, ex-boyfriend? Was it yesterday?
He drove me here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
We drove here together. So.
Oh no.
What?
So you're single for 2 months. When's the last time you guys hooked up? Was it today?
I don't remember. No, it was
yesterday.
No, a long time ago.
This week. You said because you said you've been single for 2 months.
Yeah.
Have you hooked up with your ex-boyfriend in the past 2 months?
No. But
he drove you here.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, I grew up Christian. I grew up in the Christian community, and my sexuality actually got like suppressed. I don't really need sex, to be honest. Like for me, I'm very like, I don't need it. Like I'm more of a, emotional, attachment, more emotional connection with somebody.
Very good.
So you guys are just friends right now? Or just hanging out?
Mm-hmm.
So you've broken up, but you guys do you hang out every day?
No.
How frequently do you hang out in a friendly capacity?
Probably like twice a week.
Twice a week? Okay.
Yeah.
Does he want to get back with you?
Of course.
Oh, but you don't want to get back with him?
No, because I think I'm focusing on myself right now. I feel like I really want to like kind of fix the things that I have, focus on myself, like, insecurities that I have.
Sorry, hold on just a sec.
Buddhamonkyo07 donated $99. Organized religion is all well and good, but it is an echo chamber. Just like social media, it confirms individual truths. Enabling therapists are a dime a dozen. Always ask questions, especially from the people giving you advice. Transparency, trust, whatever.
Buddha Monk, thank you for the tip. Appreciate it.
I'm confused.
Okay, appreciate the comment, man. So, wait, okay. He wants to get back with you. You don't want to get back with him. Don't you think, for the sake of moving on for yourself and him, that you probably shouldn't be hanging out with him twice a week?
It's a whole long story. I feel like
do you guys live together?
No.
At any
we used
point?
to live. Yeah, we used to live together, but it just got really toxic. So we kind of separated and not live together anymore.
Did you pull an Amber Heard and take a shit in his bed?
No, actually, I think it's like the opposite.
He took a shit in the bed?
Maybe. I'm just kidding. No, he didn't. But there's like a whole story. Like if you want the juicy story, like he broke my phone. He threw my makeup out the window.
Yikes.
It's a whole thing. Yeah. And that's
toxic.
Yeah.
You still hang out with him?
Bye-bye.
Why would you still hang out with him?
Because I feel like,
Bye-bye.
I understand people that are in toxic relationships because it's an addiction. It's an addiction. And I feel like it's like a drug. I feel like, obviously you relapse.
But I'm the type, like, if you're gonna ruin my mental health, just leave,
Or be violent.
But wouldn't you want to leave
I
that in the
said that.
past and not be around him if he did these things to you? And I mean, and you're working past those things and working your own life. Why would you want to continue to enable him in a sense? Because if you're hanging out with him, you're giving him a sense of well, maybe I could still be with her and I still have her.
You know what? I did think like that before I was in a relationship like this. I was like, why can people just leave in toxic relationships? Why can't you just leave, people that hate, other
say
people?
That until you're in one.
Yeah, until you're in one. And it's so hard
yeah.
because you're emotionally attached and you're codependent to that person. And it's so different when you're in it because it's like, wow, it's like an addiction. It's hard. It's hard to leave.
But probably because you haven't met the right person.
Of
I
course.
feel like if you met someone with better qualities, you could compare and contrast.
Actually,
like this
I don't think
guy is
that's
not
true.
good.
I mean, that's true.
I don't think that's
I
true.
mean, it's like this
I
guy
don't think that's
sucks.
true. I think that's
Like,
very
this previous toxic guy sucks. Like
Because it's like
terrible.
an addiction.
Let's go to the new one.
One of the worst things that you can do, and I am not, when I say this, I'm not advocating that you be toxic or abusive. However, one of the worst things that you can do is bore a woman. And I think that a lot of women find it exciting to be involved with these that's why even women confess it themselves. I'm attracted to bad boys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
I think-
so women are attracted to them because oftentimes they
It's not
display
boring.
these dark triad personality traits.
Not me.
I think
That's
it's
fine.
more to like
Not all women. Not all women.
I'm like, if
but,
you're bad boy, leave.
but like a lot of women will say, I like bad boys. I'm attracted to
Yeah.
jerks,
I
assholes,
see, I know
whatever.
I think
mean.
it's like a phase too. For
No,
sure.
I think it's
I
like a
don't- I
trauma
don't know
thing.
if
I know,
feel
I
like
know what you mean.
Do you feel like you're trauma bonded to him? Like
Yeah.
you have to be around him?
What
I
is a
feel-
trauma?
a trauma bond is like, for example, like my parents, like I think it's what you see as a child, like how your parents' dynamic is. If your parents did have like a toxic environment, stuff like that, you're used to that. Like that makes you feel comfortable because your whole life you've been like, you know, kind of like used to parents fight all the time. They get, you know, like separated, they come back together. And as a child, like you see that's normalized to
Were
you.
your parents divorced?
I think your psychiatrist or psychologist,
My
therapist.
therapist.
Did your therapist tell you that?
Did she tell you to
about-
stay in the toxic
No, I
relationship?
think I figured it out by myself. And, you know, it's true. Like, my dad's an alcoholic. My mom is, like, the opposite. Like, she doesn't do anything like that. But their dynamic has been for 25 years. Like, my mom tried to help my dad, and he didn't want help. He said, you know what? I don't want therapy. He literally told me, like, I don't want therapy. You know, he drinks. He's like a teenager. He drinks, and then, like, he feels sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then he's okay. And then he drinks again.
But this idea that like what you witnessed as a child with your parents' relationship dynamic means that you are going to be compelled to chase after or engage in similar relationships. This is why I'm kind of like, psychology is not a science, because, for example, you could have a father who's an alcoholic, and that could either lead you in two different paths. It could either lead you to not drinking at all because you witnessed it, or you too could become an alcoholic. So that's why I question like psychology, because like you have the same, you could take two people with alcoholic fathers, and one of them, as I just said, swears off drinking entirely, and the other becomes an alcoholic too. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, like my sister, like I mean, obviously I don't drink at all because of
Okay.
my dad, and my sister doesn't drink at all. My sister, like, obviously we're very different. Like, she's 11 years older than me. She didn't actually, like, she has a healthy relationship and stuff like that. Obviously she didn't, like, end up with an alcoholic, you know, she got married.
Okay, so he's kind of he threw your makeup out the window. He broke your phone, I guess.
Yeah.
Your ex-boyfriend who drove you here today.
But, you know, like, my other relationships weren't like that, though. Like, I had healthy relationships.
How long did those last compared to the 2-year toxic one?
Well, like I said before, I was raised Christian, so all my relationships last 2 years. Like 2 years, a year, 6 months. Like, I'm very traditional in that way. Like, I have, you know, my hit and miss. Like, I'm really in the middle with things.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah.
Is this toxic relationship your longest relationship you've ever had?
No, my first ever relationship was like 3 years.
Well, you're 22, right?
I know.
So
It was
from
15 to like 17. I mean, it
that's
doesn't
high
count.
school,
It doesn't
but-
count, but like, you know,
For
that
me,
was,
like, I believe, like, what's the point of a toxic relationship when the person is just going to weigh you down? Like, don't you want someone to kind of uplift you up?
I think it's a stability.
Kind of like, for me, I envision your person, right? To kind of grow and build your life together with them, and not like, should I say, like, hurting you. Like, you don't want someone's going to hurt your future.
Because
I think
good
that's-
men are boring to most women.
I
You know,
think
that's
that's what
But
everyone wants.
that's not the
You think
goal
that's-
here, though.
If there's
What-
a good masculine
Like, if you
man,
want,
I don't think they're
if you want, like,
but
marriage
if
in
given
the
the
end,
choice, between like a good guy who's like
But
financially
like,
stable.
if you want like a good, healthy marriage and a husband and a family, in
think
the
it was-
end, you have to kind of know that you don't want the toxic relationship.
I don't think anyone wants like a toxic
Or, like, you have to know you
relationship
should
for-
leave.
to the end. You know what I mean? Like,
I
no one wants to
know.
settle down with a toxic man or woman.
See, I think women just have a problem where they think they can fix and change a guy, though. In just in
Totally.
general
I think
terms,
so,
where there's a
too.
guy
I
that
think so,
comes in
too.
who's super toxic, but you're like, no, I can fix him, I can change him. When in reality,
Yes,
you can't.
you can't
because
change the guy.
It's gonna
He's
come
kinda
down
like,
to
That's true.
the guy's choice, which I mean, and for your sake, like, I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. 'Cause like, that's really difficult.
Comments, guys.
And it's
funny.
like, us women also have to be strong enough to leave those situations and know what's best for us and for our futures. Because if you do want to find, you know, a good guy that's going to support you, going to have that stability. I mean, stability is not going to come with toxicity. And I'm not saying toxic masculinity, because I also don't think toxic masculinity exists. That's aside from that. But there's toxic people.
Yeah.
And if he has toxic behavior, then that's not healthy for you.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of just people with toxic behavior, like, that lead into very toxic relationships are just also very immature people that
Yeah, I think very
yes,
insecure people.
That's what it is.
I'm just curious, like, why you broke up with him. I mean, typically the best MO after a breakup for the breakup to actually work is you can no longer see that person.
I was gonna ask if just like you hanging out with him still, do you feel like that interferes with your path to, I guess, focusing on yourself,
like moving on.
In a way.
Yeah, but I feel like how I see kind of like an addiction, because I feel like that's what is to me. I feel like you slowly kind of like leave it. You know, you can't just leave a vape and just cold turkey. Yeah, some people can do that, but some people can't. They have to be like, okay, I'm not gonna vape.
What?
For
Did your
like
therapist
a day.
tell you this?
No,
I think you should just leave.
Are you saying
Because-
you, hold on? No, hold on.
Maybe your mental illness is by him.
No, stop.
What?
Are you saying you need to taper off your toxic, abusive ex? Are you saying you're trying to taper?
It's easy. Just
I mean,
delete
I
it. Just
think-
delete his contact forever.
I think everybody like deals with it
Stream's
differently,
over.
you know?
I'm out.
Just delete the contact.
I do think that a lot of people deal with it differently.
Yeah.
Like, this is definitely not the first time that I've heard about a
How
situation
did I send
like
the
this.
nuke? Did I actually send the nuke? I
You
send
did.
the
Yeah,
nuke.
you did.
And it, like
Oh,
I
you
said
s-
earlier, like
oh,
it's
fuck.
really
Another one?
hard to leave a toxic relationship, and a lot of people don't know because they're not in one,
Yeah,
and you never know how it feels,
exactly.
like how hard it is to actually leave.
I didn't
until
know,
you're
like
in
before,
one.
I was like, you know what?
because
Just
you're
leave
kind of
it.
like attached, right?
Yeah,
You're emotionally
of
attached.
course.
Yeah.
Like
I know what
trauma
you mean.
bonding is like, I feel like it's real, and like it's hard. It's really, really hard. It's like, ask a drug addict. Like, it's really hard to like get off of that. Like how?
Wait. So, okay, you mentioned that he threw some makeup out
Oh, you
want to
know why?
Well, hold on. You
Okay.
said he threw the makeup out the window, and did he break your phone, or what did he do to your phone? He
So
smashed it on the
basically-
ground.
Yeah. So basically, like he got.
I don't need to know the backstory. I'm just
Okay.
asking, like, he
Yeah.
did it. Are those the only two things he did, or was there
No.
more? There's other shit.
Yeah.
Did he hit you?
No.
Okay, so it was just like throwing things,
Yeah.
breaking property, but he never
Verbal.
laid hands on you.
I think verbal was like one of
And
like for me
emotional
verbal
and
is
verbal abuse.
you know that's worse than like physical abuse. You know, like I feel like because it's like psychology wise, like that's harder. You know, like I don't think anybody should go through this, and that's why I kind of like talking about it so people know that it's not okay. When people insult you with your insecurities, like if someone
what's an example of something he would say? Did he
For
call
example,
you fat
like-
or something?
No. He would attack like insecurities of mine that I told him to protect, like to protect my feelings because I was vulnerable to him, like for
What?
example, like, oh, nobody's going to like you because you do this and this and that. Like things that like, obviously he knows that I'm insecure about.
What do you do?
Like for example, like,
You collect Pokemon cards? That's cool.
I don't know, something like that.
I,
yeah.
I wouldn't
or
mind that. Just saying.
just stuff like that. Oh, like, oh, I'm going to go and, what did he say one time? He's like, oh, like, I'm not gonna, next girl that I'm gonna get, she's gonna have a big ass and stuff like that, because he knows I'm insecure about my body, like, my whole life they call me skinny and stuff like that. That's like how
he's
they
not a
attack
good
you.
man.
That's
This is bad. This is like he's like an
verbally
enemy.
abusive.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
It's like an enemy as your guy.
Yeah, it's like,
a
I don't
hater.
think,
He's
that's
a
not
hater.
normal, and
Bye-bye.
nobody should deal with that, like people insulting you with your insecurities that
Yeah, that he's not.
you
No, he's not
gave
the
him
one.
to protect. That's what a man should do, like, like be there to like protect. It's a
Lead
protector.
and protect.
Are there any other examples of anything he said that was insensitive or mean?
Yeah, whenever
or,
he doesn't get his way, he's like slut hoe, like just like kind of like
Yikes. That's a yikes.
insulting me, and I'm like,
So what makes you still want to hang out with him then?
I think convenience.
No, that shouldn't
What?
be the answer.
Oh, well,
Convenience?
like
Like
did say
convenience, just
convenience.
because like he's there and you know that he'll answer.
Yeah.
Like,
Aw.
do you feel like you're still getting? It's almost like negative attention from him then. Like even if he's saying something that you do want to hear, but you know that he's bad.
it's not even about that. It's about like, because when I came to LA, he was the one that was there for me the whole time, and nobody, obviously I didn't know anybody in LA. And then that kind of gives that bond of like, oh, like he's been there for me this whole time. It was
So you're dependent on him.
You moved from where?
yeah.
Where did you move from?
San Diego. Was like 2 hours and a half.
Okay. And you said he drove you here, so 2-hour drive from LA?
Yeah.
You think he's watching the show right now?
No.
You sure about that?
He's 33. Like who?
Oh.
He's
he's
And he's not
older.
Well, I'm 34.
He's 11 years
but you
older
don't
than
throw
me,
people's
and you
makeup
know
bags.
Well, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, would you throw
Would you?
people's
No.
makeup bags?
No.
Do you
I
know
mean,
that
if
he,
it's like your fetish and you just don't
You
know
guys,
this.
hold on.
he kind of just, I guess, picks on you because he is older? Do you think
Like
that could
Brian's
be
I
like...
think it's because he's insecure. Like a lot of men that, or just women in general, when they feel insecure, I feel like they attack you because, you know, they feel like they're not good enough. You know, like maybe he feels like he's 33 and he's not where he wants to be in life, and that's why he insults me because
I see.
he sees that
He's insecure.
Yeah, of
he's
course.
an insecure man. Guy,
That's a
boy.
I mean, like, what he's doing is 100% wrong, but I was almost anticipating this would be like a younger guy.
Like a 21-year-old.
Like,
Yeah.
it seems like kind of an immature thing.
Yeah.
Like, very, but I feel like, okay, well, if he is watching this show, that's going to be an awkward ass fucking 2-hour drive back to LA. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't care, to be honest, at this point.
You guys are going to argue.
I'm about to make a podcast just to like say all the stuff that.
Do you
like,
eventually want to
Awkward.
kind of just like cut ties with him?
Yeah, of course.
When is that weaning? Because right now you're like weaning off, right?
Yes.
You're hanging out only twice a week. When do you
The
have
taper.
that? I don't want to. I want to stop
Chicks-
seeing him now.
Whoa, hold on. To the taper thing. What is this, like a methadone clinic? You got to fucking, okay, I'm going to go from 4 days a week to 3 days a week to 2 days a week.
that kind of
Then
helps
one,
me. It does help me.
It helps you?
Yeah.
Babe, I just broke up with you, but can you please still be my support while going through the breakup that
Of course,
I
like
initiated
obviously I
against you?
relapse, you know, like
Oh,
it's
it's
hard.
like an on and off situation.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Morgan,
You
go
should
ahead.
take-
This is
like-
why
Hold-
you
hold-
have.
Okay, go ahead, Elizabeth. Go ahead.
This is why she has her. She needs a therapist, right? Because she has mental illnesses
No.
because of this guy.
You
I think
need
this
the
guy.
Whatever podcast. The Whatever I'm your new therapist, okay?
You want her to vent this out to everybody?
How much does your therapist charge you?
0 because I have
Insurance.
Through health insurance.
Insurance.
Okay. I guess you just have to appear on the Whatever podcast more so we can talk this
Once
out.
a week.
I want an update you have to come back in 2
Okay.
weeks. We're gonna do sit down. I'll get a couch for you so you can lay down. And okay. Morgan, you had something there before I had to make the methadone.
I just want to
comment.
know, like, okay, you're weaning off.
Yeah.
When do you, in your mind, want to be like, all right, now we're done? Because I feel like you're just instigating not only his own feelings of, you know, maybe we'll get back together if he does want to get back together with you, but also your own feelings of you're not actually going to be able to work
Right.
past him if you're still seeing him. So when is that like time frame of like, okay, it's been 2 months.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, obviously, like, I hope that if I work with a therapist or, like, I know I have support with my friends, but, you know, it's not the same. It's not the same when they're your friends. Your friends are not going to be there all the time. It's just, I don't know. It's just so hard what I obviously been through, but at the same time, it's like when nobody's there, like, obviously he's there. You know, I understand that that's not okay. But I feel like now that I'm working on myself now, like, I'm working on myself more than I have. You know,
That's good. Progress.
You know, I'm going to the gym. I try to go to
Better
the gym
than
every
nothing.
day. You know, I try to write things down. Like, there's like a little.
But later
like-
on, you have to learn how to like not depend on him.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I'm gonna get there. It's just like, for me, it's a lot of patience.
I see.
You know.
I'm gonna do a poll in the YouTube chat, and the poll is gonna ask, does she get back with her toxic ex? Hold on, guys. The poll's coming up. Does she get back with her toxic ex-boyfriend?
Why can't we see the comments?
Uh,
We used to see it.
so it doesn't distract people.
Okay, that's fine.
What are they saying?
Does she get back
I
with?
know.
Okay.
What are you guys
Poll
saying?
sent. It should be getting up
Okay.
there in a sec.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I've been this befuddled by.
I just don't understand why you don't leave. Because, like, if you look at every relationship, even if the guy is in control, if a woman decides to leave, she can leave, and the guy can chase and chase and chase. But women hold the control, whether it's you want to sleep with a guy, you're the one that says no or yes. You know, if you want to date the guy, you're the one that says no or yes. The guy is courting you and going after you. So really, women do have the control in that situation.
Yes.
So
She's addicted.
I encourage you
She's
to
addicted.
go
Like,
out
She's
and
got
date.
a taper. She's
Find
got
That's
a
what
taper.
she needs.
Morgan.
That's what she needs, a therapist. You know what I mean? She can't function by herself.
I'm her.
Yeah.
I am
She
your
can't
therapist.
function by herself.
You need to tune in.
She needs.
every
But at some
Sunday and
point, you need
Tuesday,
to
5
learn how to
p.m.
be able to function by yourself. Or
Yes,
where,
you
where
need
are you going
to be a
get?
strong,
Yeah, and be
independent woman. You
independent.
have to know how to function by yourself.
I encourage
Of
you to
course.
go
And you know
out,
how to make
find
choices
some
by
new
yourself.
friends. You know,
Are you a strong,
find some new
independent
guy friends.
black
Yes,
woman?
Brian.
Elizabeth.
Yes, Brian.
And that's okay. You know, everybody functions differently.
Yeah.
You know, like you could be so independent. I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
But I can't. You know,
yeah,
like
she needs some help.
yeah. You know, like
well, it's not that you
understandable.
can't. You can.
No, I can.
You have the capacity to
Yeah.
be independent, and I think women also need to be independent with themselves before going into relationships.
Yes.
And a man also has to be mature and independent with himself. So when you come together,
Yep.
you actually make a good harmonious unit.
Of course,
that.
it's like a
Yeah.
teamwork. You know, it's a
Right.
team.